Hey everyone, happy Monday. How are you? I literally just decided like 2 minutes ago that I wanted to get on here and share this story and do a live. So here I am while I enjoy the last few minutes. Well, I have no idea how much longer of the baby's nap. So anyway, I hope your week is off to a good start. I hope you had a great weekend. If you join me live, let me know. Say hello so I know you're here, because I don't often know. And if you catch the replay, #replay. So I just wanted to share a little story in case there's anybody out there that wants to pursue something that feels totally against what everybody expects of them. Or maybe even against everything that they expected of themselves. And to show you that it's scary. Not to show you that it's scary, you know that it's scary. To show you that despite it being scary, you can still do it, because we can do hard things, right? And when we do the things that we feel pulled to, that we feel nudged to, it's one step closer to the life that we, are meant to live, or a life that feels good to us, right? So I shared a live last week, I think it was Friday, about a channeling session I had and how something stuck out to me about the path of expectation. So when we follow somebody else's path that they laid out for us, it seems very clear, like we know what we need to do, right? X, Y, and Z, and that's how we're going to get to that destination. Hey Inez, how are you? Happy Monday. So of course it feels like, all right, this path of expectation is all laid out in front of me, and I know how to get there because somebody else is telling me exactly what to do. And sometimes that can feel, it feels a little less scary in some ways, right? Because it's out there for you. Why should I disappoint people? I should just follow that path of expectation, do what people expect of me. It'll be easy, whatever. But it's not actually easier. So, I don't know, I don't share too much about this. Maybe I've shared it before, but regardless. When I was younger, when I was in school, I did very well in school. I did really well in high school, and I'll be honest, I didn't have to try that hard. I actually got accepted into the National Honor Society, and I was kind of mad about it in the sense that, I didn't really want to join the club and do the things. To me, it wasn't this, prestigious honor, because they were just grades. I know that's, against popular opinion. We're supposed to really focus on our grades, and our kids are supposed to focus on their grades. But to me, it never really meant that much, and I'm not going to lie, as I'm saying this out loud right now, I'm realizing things about myself. Because when it comes to my kids, I just had this conversation the other day, how I don't intend to push them to do well in school or to go to college unless that's what they want. If there's something that they desire to do in life that requires them to go to college, then absolutely. But I'm not going to push them to do well academically for the sake of doing well academically to get into a good college. That's just not how I roll. And as I was just talking this out right now, I realized that why I necessarily wasn't really into school, even though I did well. It just, to me, the grades didn't mean anything. So it was obviously expected of me to go to a good college, get a good job. People thought I was going to be a lawyer or a doctor. My grandfather wanted me to be an actuary, and he was a tough man and not a very nice man, because you make good money and you're smart. So yeah, you were happy to be on the honor roll for your parents, but for yourself, I'm not so sure. I 100% relate to that. I relate to that. Oh my gosh, my parents were thrilled. The National Honor Society, I never went to one meeting. I didn't do any community service, which now I feel kind of bad about. I still got the gold cord to wear, and to everybody else it meant something so major, but to me it didn't. But yeah, everyone expected that was what I would do. And I didn't want to do it. I wanted to be a hairstylist From like middle school on, I wanted to be a hairstylist. But I also enjoyed baking. I was basically trying to find a way to go to college, get a degree, make everyone happy while doing something I loved. I knew that wasn't going to be going to cosmetology school. So I decided to pursue something else. I was like, I'm going to be a pastry chef because I love baking. And I found a school that offered a 4-year degree with it, right? And you hear the baby. He's just waking up from a nap. He's okay. He's safe in his crib. So I found a place where I'd get a 4-year degree too. I was all set to go with my best friend. We were going to go down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was super excited about the experience of it, but like the school aspect of it, the reason I was going, I was not excited about. And it was a lot of money. So 2 weeks before I was supposed to go, I decided I wasn't. There was no way it made sense to me to spend like 40 grand a year going to school to get a degree that I didn't want, that didn't align with what I wanted to do. I wanted to do hair, which is a very respectable profession. And it didn't require me to go to college. So I'm like, why am I doing this? So I didn't go. Nobody was happy with me. We'll just say that. But my mom's like, okay, take a semester off. It was too late to figure anything else out. And I took a semester off, ended up enrolling in community college for the not community college, just state college for the following semester for accounting because I did well at it in high school. That's the only reason. And because my grandfather said I should be an actuary. I'm like, well, I guess this is what I'll do. I dreaded every class. I was miserable. But my mom, we had this conversation and she begged and pleaded with me and cried. I didn't go to college, right? I want you to. That whole conversation, which is the only reason why I agreed to enroll in that state college was, after the conversation, I was like, okay, I'm going to make my mom happy, right? She's crying and begging and pleading with me. I'm going to make her happy. So I enrolled, I went, I made it through a whole semester. Meanwhile, thinking, I want to do hair. This is not getting me closer to doing hair, right? So then it was summer because it was spring semester. I dreaded it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I went back. I went to one class the first day of my second semester, and I dropped out that day. I called my mom at work. She was not happy. And the only reason why I did that, I wasn't living home at the time, so the only reason why I did that was because to get my money back, full tuition back for that semester, I had to drop out that day. And you know what? I think it's actually better that it happened that way because I couldn't back down. I made that decision and I just went with it. I made that decision before I even started classes that day. My mom didn't talk to me for about a month. My grandfather told me I was wasting my life. Nobody was happy. I found a cosmetology school that I loved, brought my mom with me. She didn't say one word, was not into it whatsoever. Even it was beautiful, brand new school. And she didn't say a word to me. And then we left and that was that. But I still went. I knew my parents, my mom especially, she was not happy. Not happy. And everyone was like, oh, her? She dropped out of college? Oh my gosh. And I started school, loved it, met some amazing people. Actually, I just had coffee today with somebody I met in hairdressing school that we reconnected last year. And I love her and I adore her. Which just proves not my whole story, but like when we follow what we're meant to do, or like when we follow ourselves and our heart and our intuition, you're going to get everything you're meant to have and all the people you're meant to have, right? So the coffee I had this morning, I connected with this person in hairdressing school that I almost didn't go to because nobody wanted me to but me. But I went anyways and I loved it. And I remember I was out at a bar one night with a friend of mine and like these people were talking, and then they came up to me, they're like, we're right, it was you. And I'm like, yeah, hey, how are you guys? Because I guarantee people I went to high school with would not, knowing me in high school, they would never expect I would be out at a bar drunk with, I don't know if my hair was purple at the time, but I was very quiet, blended in type of thing. And they're like, oh, are you going to UConn Medical School across the street? And I was like, no. Like, they assumed, right, because of what they knew of me in high school, that the only reason why I'd be out there is I must be, like, going to be a doctor. I said, no, I'm a hairstylist. Oh, really? Huh. Right? This big disappointment. I loved it. I loved my time as a hairstylist. And now I look at it, okay, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which led me on this path, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because I left my career as a hairstylist because I was in too much pain. And then I just kept taking the next right step, right? The next thing that felt right to me. And now, once again, here I am running an unconventional business that most of my family, they have no idea. They don't understand what it is I'm doing. My parents don't understand what I'm doing, right? And going the unconventional route, entrepreneurship, while, work at home mom, and doing everything the opposite of what was expected. I have very traditional parents who you meet somebody, you get married, you have kids. You go to college, you get a stable job. No job is stable, with good benefits, right? And health insurance. And you stay in that job until you retire. And I'm over here like dropping out of college, going to hairdressing school, starting my own business, doing everything the opposite of what was expected of me. And let me tell you, I'm so glad that I have. And it's been hard. It's always hard when you're going against expectations, especially of family and loved ones. It can feel really, really hard to really, really stick to your guns and stand in your truth and go against what everybody wants for you. It's hard, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So I just wanted that to be a little example for anybody out there who wants to do something that feels like it's against what's expected of them, either by their family or because they're a mom, right? For some reason, as moms, we're all of a sudden not supposed to do certain things. Like, no. Just know it's possible. You can do it. You can do it. Give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission. You can do it. And people are still going to love you. Your family is still going to love you. My family still loves me, right? My mom's not still giving me the silent treatment because I, dropped out of college and all of that. So just know that. Let my story be your evidence. You can do hard things. You can follow your heart. Go against what everybody expects of you. Go against what society expects of you. Listen to your intuition. Follow those nudges. Pursue what makes you happy because life's too short not to. All right. I think Jasper's really had enough. I will go get him. I promise he's good. And have a beautiful Monday. And remember, you're beautiful and worthy and so much more than enough.